Hello everyone. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can set up two different AI features inside Crowdin. First, AI Pipeline. Second is going to be Copilot. It's an AI agent that not only answers questions, but also can perform actions using Crowdin API. So to use that, you will need an AI provider. For AI Copilot, you will need an Anthropic. Once you get an API key, it's actually very simple. You go to Anthropic console, you create it, and you copy and paste it here. You click enable and you click update. If there's anything wrong with your API key, you are going to get an error, but if you see it's enabled, it means that you can start using it. For this demo, I'm going to use Anthropic for both, but for AI Pipeline, you can use any provider you want. So first, let's go to store and install both. So let's start with Copilot. We just click install. As you can see, we have a few options here. So basically you can enable this for all project members or maybe only admins, or you can create custom access, or you can select which users can actually access this. Remember Copilot can be also accessed from translation editor. So your translators can also access this. So remember about this. Also, you can select which projects can have access to this. But once you are sure this is correct, you click install and it's ready to go. And now let's go back and let's find AI Pipeline. It is here. Let's install this. So, and same situation here, you can enable this just for admin or other members also to enable this for all users, but you might want to choose differently. So inside Crowdin, you can actually create your own prompt, and I'm going to show you how you can do that. So inside there, you will have a lot of different options. You have basic mode and advanced mode where you can just create very simple prompts, but we are interested in AI Pipeline because here you can make sure that the quality of output is going to be better. So as you can see under AI Pipeline, you have two different options. We have presets, basically templates that Crowdin created for you, so you can start very quickly, but also you can modify your own or create your own workflows too. But I think when you are starting, it's actually better to just start with this and basically test it yourself how it actually works. So as you can see, we have a few different options. So first we can go from very minimal setup where we only run, where we prepare context for AI first, and then we just run translation, right? Two different steps, not very complicated, but you can go from minimal to standards to quite complicated setup very quickly. So we have multiple steps here. We prepare context, we do translation, but then we also check instructions, we check file consistency between different files, and then we run QA check. So there's one more option here where you can ask AI to pre-translate all no matter what, or you can filter out problematic segments. If we choose this option, we have one more step right before translation where AI is going to analyze all the segments first, and it's going to filter out those segments that AI thinks are quite problematic. Right, so this can save you up some tokens, right, and money, and maybe highlight those segments humans should focus on more. I think that this is actually quite useful. So let's actually try this, but we don't want to run this through all these steps because this is going to take a while. I just want to run minimal, and I'm going to create this. So this is ready to go. So now I can actually go to my project, this one. And actually, I can pre-translate Polish very quickly. So first, we have to select AI as pre-translation. Then we select our pipeline that we just created, right? So in my case, is this one. And we can select all languages or just one. I just want to do Polish, and I only want to pre-translate this file. So let's do that. Okay, so as you can see, it's ready. We have 22 translations and 20 were skipped. But yeah, it basically did what we asked for, right? We asked to filter out all the strings that are not necessarily ideal for AI translation. It did just that. As you can see, we also have a context that was shared with AI. and then it pre-translated the rest, right? So now we can send this to a human translator to evaluate and review AI translations and translate the rest. So this was AI pipeline. As you can see, it's quite powerful. You can set it up to your needs, how your company uses AI. You can pick any AI you want. Let me show you Crowdin Copilot now. I want to go to settings first. So if you go to org settings, under there you will see Crowdin Copilot settings, and we have a few interesting settings here. So first, let me actually talk to you about MCP. You can set it up inside Crowdin and access your different platforms. So if you are using linear, you can set up a linear MCP and basically access it using Crowdin Copilot. You can access GitHub issues, GitLab issues, and so on, right? So if you want to use an MCP inside Crowdin, you can now, which I think is amazing. And under agents, you will see that there are two different agents that are created for you by default. And if you click on them, you can actually see what type of prompts those agents are running and what type of access they have. This agent, ask agent, can basically preview data, but it cannot really modify anything because it's prohibited from doing this, right? So you can always check what it can or cannot do. But with task, it's slightly different because you will see that the prompt is slightly different, but also it has access to anything. And also you can create your own agent, right? So if you don't want to use those that are provided to you by default, you can create your own. So let's say you are trying to create a TM agent. You can create it very quickly. You can describe it. You can create your own prompt, right? And then you can give it access just to the TM itself. So this is what you can do from the config. Let me actually show you how you can run it. So as I mentioned, you can run it from an editor or you can run it from the root. So let's try from editor first. So if you're a linguist, you can use this to cross-reference TMs, style guides, and your glossary. So if you're not sure about the term, how it was translated previously in previous projects, you can now cross-reference anything you have. You can point to a project if you know what you're trying to compare, right? So it's very powerful, but I want to show you a very simple thing where I'm trying to pre-translate the rest of the segments, because as you know, previously we asked AI to filter out, but we want to pre-translate it anyway. And also I want to use emojis to pre-translate one of the segment. And okay, so as you can see, it did what I asked for, right? I asked to ignore any TM or AI that we set up inside Crowdin, and I asked Copilot itself to translate for me, right? And it did just that, and it also pre-translated this segment with emojis. So as you can see, I asked for multiple things inside the same thing, and that's what it did, right? It did multiple different things, and you can actually, if you want to see what it did, you can actually see that yourself. If you have a crazy amount of projects inside your organization, you can actually use it now quite effectively to manage, your terminology consistency across anything you have inside Crowdin. That was the full setup, right? As you can see, very simple and quick. We installed AI Pipeline and Copilot very quickly from Crowdin store. We just needed an API key from an AI provider.